Let me have your attention. Ang hindi magbigay attention, siyang unang kakanta rito. Okay, pwede ba yun? So now I got your attention. Okay, guys, seriously speaking, what we had this afternoon is nothing but blessings. Wala nitong zero eh. They just need a little bit of adjustments from here to there. And although merong outright na nabigyan ng MOU and merong to-adjust ng kanilang mga presentation and kanilang proposal, but we don't intend to stop from there. We need to continue. And prayers is the most effective way in that kind of continuity. Nothing comes close as prayers. Okay, so that's what I experienced, no? And for this opportunity, ay nako, nasan ba yung napagwapong Inigo na yan? Nag-CR si Inigo. Alam mo, itong power couple na to, talagang ito ay maganda na, gwapo pa, humble pa. Ang tawag ko nga kay Gina, I think siya yung 5 B's eh. No? Beauty, patawag ko beauty, bag,
brain.
Lodi na naman ang bag ka eh. Beauty, bag, body, and then business. Sa amin sa pa hindi, 5 yun eh. Brain! There you go! Ay, ako walang brain. So I'm going to call up the couple. We call them the power couple. And nothing comes close as handsome. Say this. As handsome as Inigo. Okay? I hate to say this. Inigo, please join us here. And Ma'am Gila for Word of God sharing. And anything that you'd like to share. After that, we're going to have later on na ano para kanila Brother Ezekiel and Brother Gabby. So, kasi napagod kami kasi sa taas eh. Kung kayo naman, no? So, share about your journey in your personal, family, business, and the same time for what you experienced from our country, from our counterpart company, from Singapore, everything. So, support this, be in the middle if you want to. This is all yours.
Alright, so good evening everybody. So as Sir explained, I'm Inigo, so nice to meet everybody tonight. So wasn't expecting this, but if anything I'm going to share my story. So from my end,
Relax. You're live in our
well, from my end, just wanted to share my experience here because if you guys can't tell, I'm not originally from here. I'm actually from the U.S. I moved here for basketball of all things, and that was pretty much 2016, and then 2020 happened with the pandemic, and then by the hand of God, I was able to meet my wife. We were able to meet one night in BGC. And then we were able to connect together, and then from that, that's where I actually was able to learn everything from business. That's the beginning of our story, where I messaged her, was able to visit her at Mac Cafe from the restaurant that she owned, and I was able to really learn how business works from her. I was able to understand how to just even have a business because my previous experience was in basketball. That's all I really knew. So through her, I was able to learn and grow in so many different ways. Not only as a businessman, but as a husband. Because we got married in 2022, as well as having 2 of our children together. And that's really the biggest blessing I think I could actually say that that's what she gave to me. Is a wonderful family and a wonderful wife together that we're able to live. And on top of that, of all things, today we actually had a conference at our church, our Christian church, around a marriage conference of all things. So for us, that was amazing timing for us to really be together and build with one another, with God in that. So from my end, that's really what I just want to share from that point is how amazed I am of her because of who she is as not only as a businesswoman, but as my wife, as a person overall, because she's really been the biggest inspiration for me from the beginning of the moment. I think one of the things I told her was she really has a brain and the way that her mind thinks unlike anything else I've ever seen. I hear it actually all the time from, honestly, from Sir Ray, Sir Rodner, of things of just how different she is. She's unlike anything else that I've ever seen her, and how many people can actually meet with the way that she thinks, the way that she uses her mind to actually solve problems with anything and everything in our life. So I'm just very fortunate that she is my partner. I'm able to call her my wife. And beyond that, she's been married.
Thank you so much. No, it was actually very sweet. I think it's also because we were from marriage conference today, but I'm very blessed to be part of the RTM group. You know, I've met sila Sir Ray, I think May, last March. I first met them. I did the same thing that you guys did. I was at the TV and I was presenting my company and I was giving them ideas how I needed to be funded. And then 1 year after, I'm still with them. They're still helping me. I just got back from Singapore thanks to Sir Gabby. He introduced me to a lot of investors, including Ezekiel. Thank you so much for bringing me around there. So it has been a blessing to be part of the RTA group. And to be honest, aside from being part of this group, being a business owner, it's very hard, you know. Like, I wouldn't be where I am today without my husband, you know. Bibigyan ko din. You know, he's the COO of the company, you know. If you're CEO kasi, if you're the one who started the company, there are certain things that you know na pag-build ng company. But there are some things that you don't know. You cannot sustain the company on your own. You don't have the same skills. The same skills that made you build the company are not going to be the same skills you're going to use to sustain it. So my husband here, he's an engineer. He's the one who created all the systems and processes of the company. So for me, if I want to say, hey, I want to build a subdivision here in the city, that's all I'm going to say. He's going to be the one to make the plan, like, okay, this is the manpower that we need, this is how long it's going to take, and this is how we're going to do it. And that's the kind of partnership that we have, and the kind of strength we have, that I hope every single one of you here in the business will also find in your lifetime. So, yeah. So, yeah.
There's one incident that Gina experienced, a life-threatening so it was way back, 2022. You know, we're wondering how it happened because she's a hard worker, she's, you know, putting things all together, and one magnificent thing with Gila, she always make the point that on the spot, you're going to get an answer. Yep, there's no null moments, there'll be no procrastination, there's no untoward incidents that you're going to encounter because everything's already on the table. However, along the line, we're just thinking, what might be the little story before that experience? Okay? Can you share about the health situation? So, all the hard workers here can also have preparation, you know, to avoid.
So in 2022, I actually had a mild stroke. I was not minding my health. I actually have this routine, OMAD, 1 meal a day. So I only eat 1 meal a day. Not because I want to diet, because I literally forget to eat. And I just tell my friend, yeah, I want OMAD. But I forget to eat, I forget to drink water. And then one afternoon, I had back-to-back meetings from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Every hour, new people. At 3 p.m., I started feeling this to be numb. And then I started slurring words like this. And then this is this life. But I didn't care. Continue forward, 3:30, next person. And then my arm started like this. So I didn't care. Because I thought I was just tired. And then started slurring, and then my face looked like this. And I said, I think I'm having a stroke. And then someone brought me to the hospital. The hospital was very near our office. And then they did a CT scan, and then I had a blockage. And then, can you tell them how you felt? Or how it happened?
So for my end, I wasn't with her. I wasn't. For some reason, we were in different locations. So you can just imagine. I'm able to see a message. The person who messaged me that she was having a stroke was the one that was with her. Her name is Faye. So Faye's the one who messaged me and told me that there's something going on with Gilas, that there's something happening. So of course, what things going through my mind? What's happening there? And I rush to the hospital as soon as I can, and then I see her in the hospital, and then luckily she's able to be very coherent. She's able to seem as if everything is okay. But obviously, seeing her in a hospital, that is very a scary thing to see. Imagine with your wife. So definitely by the hand of God, he was able to be there and have somebody be with her at the right time, at the right place, because it really could have been much worse. That's one of the things where I'm very grateful for the fact of just how God's timing was and how I was able to protect her. And ever since then, we've obviously, it's been a wake-up call, if anything, to make sure that she's no longer doing the same things, and as well as on my end, making sure she's eating, making sure she's sleeping, making sure she's drinking water. So again, we were very blessed and very fortunate that it was just that, at that very point.
There's a time in your life kasi that you feel like you're Superman. I started business when I was 18. So the lifestyle when I was 18, I thought it would be forever. I had a stroke when I was 28. So that's around 10 years after. So you still feel like you can work those long nights, but that's not true. That's why you're building a business, so that you don't have to work as hard as you have to before. You're supposed to delegate, you're supposed to build a legacy and a corporation that can run on its own. So it's not, building a business is not just about making money. It's not just about delegating the things that you want. It's about making sure that your vision surpasses your life. Especially if it was something like that, it was like threatening, ganyan. That day, I could say that my business will not survive. I didn't survive that day. So that was a wake-up call for me that I should take my business to the next level.
Gina, Inigo, and everyone, I'm so humbled by Gina sharing with Alan during our first meeting. And it really struck me, oh my gosh, I really felt so much ashamed of myself. And Gina, can you share about it? Yes.
Yeah, actually, since we're sharing about how God changed our life, I did want to share a certain message, if that's okay with you. How I started in them. So, I'm a CEO now of a holdings company. We own subsidiaries, but it doesn't always start to be that way. I started business when I was 18 years old. I was selling phone cases and notebooks in college. The reason why I was doing that is because I didn't have enough money. My classmates, I used to go to the school right there at Ateneo. My classmates would have their baon per school for 500 to 1,000 pesos. And I couldn't afford the same things that they could afford. 200 pesos lang yung baon ko. And I told my parents, Mom, Dad, can you add more to my baon so I could go with my friends to study Starbucks? And they said, no. So I had to figure out how to find a way to do business. So I started selling phone cases and notebooks. And luckily for me, after 1 year, it became a 7-digit business. Because I sold these phone cases and notebooks to corporations as giveaways. So thousands of orders for their like Adidas, Skechers, and the walls, the signages that you see that used to be my contracts. So from selling phone cases and notebooks, I was able to create a printing company. And then when I was looking at this printing machine, have you ever seen a printer before ng tarpaulin?
Yeah.
It's very big, no?
Yeah.
And then when you look at the paper come out, you're like, okay, I was thinking, what am I gonna do with this machine? Because this is worth 400,000 pesos. It's just making phone cases and notebooks. I have to capitalize this more. It's just making signages. And then I started to look at it like this. And it was printing slowly. I could make this into wallpapers kasi malaki siya. So I started creating graphic design of rooms. So instead of selling tarpaulins as they are, I started saying, I can make over your room into a Disney, Mario, Minecraft, anything. And it became a hit. I was interviewed by Chris Aquino, ABS-CBN, the room makeover nung time na yun. And it became big. So one thing led to another that I was asked to do. Kaya mo rin ba gumawa ng bed? Can you also do the closet? Can you do also this one? And as a person that I am, yeah, I can do the bed. I could do the closet. So one thing led to the other. From bed, closet, na naging restaurant, na naging condo, na naging bahay. I became a contractor in the Philippines and I built my first corporation, which was a construction company. At 21 years old, so 18, 19, 20, 21. So when I was 21, I opened up my first corporation. It was a construction company. I had 200 construction workers. Yung mga barako, mga kuya. Yeah, mga best friend ko yun. So I was able to work with people like that at my age of 21. So at 21, I thought I was the best. I thought kaya ko lahat. I thought everything I touched turns to gold. And then I said to myself, galing ko. Anything I do, kaya ko. And then one day, I was given a project, a 5-story building. I hired an architect to do the bill of quantities, to do the blueprints. I didn't know, since he was kind of aged up a little bit, I didn't know his prices were not up to date. So he was off by our quotation by 2 million pesos. And I was looking at this building and I was like, I couldn't finish it. I was very prideful and I said, okay, Nanay, it's me. Everything I do turns into gold. I'll have another project to fund this. It's okay, it's me. 1 month passes, no project. Another month passes, no project. Okay lang. I have savings. I'll use my money for now because I know I'll have a project again. Use my savings, 1 million pesos. Remember, I needed 2. I used 1. Kulang pa ako ng 1. Ilang months after, I couldn't finish it. Told the client, I'm sorry. Don't have money anymore. Almost put a case against me. Wanted to put me in jail. Had to go back to the office and tell my staff, I'm sorry, I have to close the office. I can't afford rent. I have to fire all of you. Don't have jobs anymore. Had to go home to my condo. Had to sell my car. Had to sell the computers. Had to sell everything that I own. The only thing that was remaining of me was myself, the condo, and my dogs. And I didn't go home to my parents because I was so prideful. Because I said, it's just a setback. It's me. I'll get this money back. It's me. Like, I'll be able to do it. 1 month passes and then 10 months in that condo. Every single day, pride was in my mouth. Even if I had 20 pesos in my wallet, I still say, that's it. Kaya ko to. Even if I couldn't afford food, I was still very prideful. There was one day that I had 20 pesos. I bought a banana queue. This is not an exaggeration. This is true. Bought a banana queue. I said, 2 piraso naman siya. 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner. That's how prideful I was that I didn't want to go home to my parents. I stuck out that condo and one day I was at church. My friend brought me. And there was a passage on the screen that said, a Bible verse said, everything is shaken so that the permanent may remain. And I realized that everything in my life at that point was shaken so much. Everything was taken from me, my business, my people, my projects, my car, my everything. And then the only thing that was remaining was myself and God. Well, my dogs. But it's me and God. And I said, wait, all those times that my phone case is sold, because I was talented, because of God. He gave me clients. Those times I gave that item na naging 1 million yung sales ko. because I gave my phone cases to corporate companies. You know what I mean? It's God. He told those people to buy from me. All those times that I was able to get interviewed in the TV by Chris Aquino, that wasn't me. That wasn't because I was intelligent. That was because of God. And then the moment I realized, wait, it wasn't me pala. And then I realized, I have to go home. I went home, packed my bags, went to my parents and said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to go home soon enough. And can you take me back? I don't have money or food. And then my parents put me back in the arms. That same afternoon, imagine this table, this small, underneath the stairs of our house. Kasi dalawang story siya. Underneath the stairs, I was working, designing again. Sabi ko, sige, I'll just start again from scratch. I just designed phone cases and notebook na lang. And then a whisper in my ear said, post a video of your designs on Facebook. Because I had videos on YouTube. And I was like, why don't I post my interior designs on Facebook? I don't do interior design anymore. Wala na akong tao. Wala na akong kumpanya. Do it. I posted it on Facebook. I didn't care. One day, 3,000 views. 3 days, 10,000 views. 5 days, 200,000 views. And at 7 days, that one video turned 3.5 million views. I didn't have money for 10 months and I just got home. And then the next day, I posted a video. In 7 days, I had 3.5 million views. That 3.5 million views had given me 1,000 views. So, it's not about how good you are, how talented you are, or however you think you are. If God will not open the floodgates for you, you will not have it. So, that's what I learned, that pride will really kill your business. Kasi God is not in the business to make you successful. He's in the business to progress you, to refine you, to make you who you are for the purpose of others. So basically, that's the story of how my business is blessed now with God, and I hope I inspired all of you.
My gosh, pingit ako sa Facebook, wala pa akong kalahati sa 3,000 na view, lahat na yun. 3.5, wala pa ako sa brutal. So, guys, you see how God moves. As long as we recognize Him as our Creator and Savior, I was deeply touched. And basically, that's why I asked her, and thank you for permission in Negro. Because when we started this event, we started with the Word of God. And then it's just evolved. And it's a good timing that it's there, it will tell. It's going to be clear. And then everything comes, as what God puts us in this opportunity. So, guys, if you want something as inspirational as their story, you can check their Facebook. What's the Facebook?
I still do blogs, but it's on my company account, Madhouse Design Studio.
Also, goes without saying, if you need business, always, inject business, you can also have direct business. And I thank Sir Rodber for introducing Gila. And basically, that's it for the meantime. Anything you'd like to share? Last parting words, anything?
My last words I probably share is that, if anything, I'll say I actually was introduced to the Lord, to God also as well through her. That's another thing that I probably could add as well, because again, from me, I was living a typical, life of just going and drinking.
Yeah, good news, God. Oh my gosh.
Basketball player life, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And then it was only through her that I was actually able to meet God and have a different level of understanding and knowing who He is in my life. I really, she's the one that dragged me to the church one day. I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And then we went 1 week. We went the following week after that. And then from then, I told her that I really felt a different connection at that point. Especially going to it was a Christian church and I grew up Catholic. So there was just a different feeling that I got from that. And that's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest thing that changed my life, was just being introduced to God and meeting Him in that way. So that's another testament for the wonder who Gila is and the amazing who she is.
Let's give a big our couple. Thank you very much. Thank you.